Hey guys, Dietrick here, Fitness Quest 10. I have another hockey tip of the week for you. Today, we are coaching overhead presses. Who should be doing overhead presses? Well, people who don't naturally fall into extension when they reach their arms overhead. So for example, if they reach their arms overhead and they lean back like this, probably should not be going into overhead presses because you're putting a lot of pressure on your lumbar spine. Number two, overhead athletes. I don't have many of my overhead athletes doing overhead presses because that can lead to overuse injuries. Number three is if you have a shoulder impingement, for example. I test people by taking their hand over their shoulder, lifting their elbow up. That hurts at all. You might have a shoulder impingement. Overhead presses may not be for you. There's some other things that we can do to work around this. However, if you're healthy, great exercise to develop upper body strength. I love using it for a lot of my athletes. So first thing you're gonna do, first progression is a kneeling overhead press. Okay, so here I start kneeling because it's very hard to get into extension when pressing overhead in this position. Okay, so instruct athletes, bring the dumbbell just right on their shoulder. They're usually facing a mirror. And I tell them, point that elbow right at the mirror, okay? And when you press, you wanna see your elbow go in a straight line all the way up and then come back down. Also rotate that palm on the way up and come back down. Most athletes, when they do that upward spiral rotation of their shoulder, they don't feel any pain in their shoulder, and I like to see that elbow go in a straight line all the way up. That's number one. Number two would be standing. So when you're standing, same thing, okay? Point that elbow at the mirror, you're gonna press all the way up and then come back down. Your core has to be more engaged in this, so no extending back like this. Make sure your abs are nice and tight, okay? So that's the second progression. And then finally, to get a little unilateral stability on your core, I have athletes elevate one foot onto a bench. Okay, so whoever knees up, they're pressing with their opposite hand. And from here, your core has to be a lot more engaged to press all the way up and then come right back down. Finish with your bicep right by your ear and then come all the way back down. So those are progressions for coaching the overhead press. Go ahead, get after it. Thanks for watching my hockey tip. I'll see you guys next time.